good afternoon, or good morning, depending on what time zone you're in. Today, I'm swatching the final batch of new colors from Laura's shop update several weeks ago. I've had them for a couple weeks, but it's been quite busy, and there were many sets to swatch. So this is the final batch. These are all of the loose metallic colors. So this includes all of the sea colors, so the coral colors, a couple new super shifters, just some random stuff, and 2 new silvers, because my favorite silver in the shop has actually been discontinued a long time ago, like probably 2 years ago. Laura discontinued it, and it wasn't an issue. I had a stash of it, except I am about halfway through my final pan of it, and so now I am testing out other shimmers, other specifically silver shimmers she carries, to find out if any of them are close enough to what I'm looking for. So we're going to jump into this. I've already labeled my white cards. My white gel pen for the black paper still isn't working, so we're not labeling any of my black cards today. We're just gonna, roll with it. And yeah, we're gonna have a great time. It's really blurry. Can we fix that? Or is it just going to? Oh, there we go. There we go. It's figured its stuff out. All right, let's get into swatching. First up is Tropical Mint, which is very teal. I don't know that I'd call it a mint. It's very turquoise, but it's very pretty and it's very sparkly. So these are all shimmers that are just available loose in the shop as individual colors. So I've had them ready to swatch. I just haven't really had time to sit down and do it. So I decided that this morning was going to be the right time to sit down and do it. It's very pretty. It is a very teal. It's very teal. I don't know that I'd call it a mint, but it is very pretty, and I do quite like it. So we're gonna tuck it away to dry. Oh, it's like sort of got a blue shift to it, sort of. I wonder if that'll stay as it dries down. Same with that one. Interesting. All right, I did pre-wet all of these. They've actually probably sat for too long. The water's absorbed into most of them. It's quite hot here. So we're gonna go through and re-wet anything where the water totally absorbed in. Just because I have a feeling for these later ones, I'm probably going to have to wet them again later. This is not a new color, I don't think. I think this has been in the shop for a while. And I think it's one of those colors that really doesn't work well on white, but looks really cool on black. And I think I added it to my list because I liked how it looked on black. Yeah, it's sort of got, there are several shimmers. You'll see them for sale in shops. They're like photographed on very specific angles because they've got this weird like red tone on white paper. But they do look really cool on black. So what does this look like on black? Oh, I remember why I ordered this. I wanted this sort of like, I've got a whole bunch of ghosts from Laura, but I don't have any that are like this green from her. And I wanted that like bright green ghost, because last year when I was doing like fall pieces, there were some things that I wanted to do on black paper where I just didn't have like the right ghost from Laura to do them. So that is why I added that to my list. I do have to say, like, it's a really pretty gold on white. I just don't love the brown undertone, but I think if you layered it over stuff, it would be good. It is sold though as, I believe, a black paper color. She does show it on white paper though, and you can see that it's not the best. Hippie Bus, I believe, is actually being discontinued. I think I saw it in the clearance section. It is lime green. It is fluorescent. It is also really fun. There's just something about like those fluorescent colors. I don't know what it is. I genuinely really enjoy them. I'm gonna have to find a spring piece or a summer piece that I can use this in shortly, because we are approaching the more fall pieces in the next couple months. Sweet, I do like that. Realizing I'm gonna need more space than I've got. It is the downside of the tiny desk. This is green gold. Which is, I'm surprised I don't have this. But I guess I don't. I don't know. Laura has access to my master spreadsheet and so is pretty good about not sending me duplicates. So I guess I don't have this, but I thought this was an older color. I really like how blue it is, but I'm guessing when you put it on black, it just looks gold because it's sort of got that effect. As a turquoise though, I really like it. Yeah. So it's gold on black. I really like it on white though. So that's something to think about because I do think that I will use it. Just maybe not on black paper. It's always interesting to see the difference. Whereas on white, it's so teal. We're just gonna live with the smudgy swatch cards. Because honestly, I don't feel like recutting swatch cards. I believe this is new as well. But I have no idea what color it is. So it looks almost holographic when you swirl it around in the pan. So oh, that's fun. It's color shifting. It goes from like a bluey green to a hot pink on black when you put the page at an angle, which is so much fun. So it looks quite green right now, and if I tilt, so I potentially added that to my list, or Laura just knew that I'd really like it. Because I did pick out some of these, but some of these she also just sent. So it's a real mix of colors. And also I've got such a huge palette of her shimmers at this point that really what I get at this point is brand new stuff and replenishing colors. Because there are colors that I have used my entire pan of up. This is Glittery Gold, which is probably too orange for my day-to-day gold. I tend to like a more yellow gold in my palette as my standard gold. So I think this one's a bit too orange for my day-to-day gold, but it is very sparkly and very glittery. I believe this is in the Gold and Silvers palette that's in the shop, which is, I believe, 3 silvers and 3 golds. And so I think this is part of it. I think these 2 silvers are part of it. It is very glittery though. I would definitely call it a glittery gold. It's so hot that you have absorbed all your water. This is Plush Petal, which might be brand new, question mark. It's sort of hard to keep track. There are some collections that I know are new-ish. So the algae collection came out, I want to say it came out in like February. It's been out for a little bit. But then some, because they just get like added to shop updates, it is hard to keep track of when they came out. So this could be new, or it could just be a pink that sells really well in the shop. Because her orders, what she sends does tend to be a mix of what's selling well and new stuff. It's very pretty though. It's got a nice shimmer to it. And then we have Big Pond, which I'm really excited for. It looks incredibly sparkly just in the pan, which is always a good sign when you look at a color in a pan and it just looks really sparkly. Like, that's a great sign. Oh yeah, ha! Oh, I love it already. Very teal, but very much a this is so much fun. I'm gonna have so much fun with this color. This is probably going in my upcoming travel palette because it's got such fun movement to it. And it color shifts on black. And it sort of color shifts on white. Look at that. That's so much fun. But if you look at it here, that's great. Oh, I will provide links to whatever colors I can below. I think these are all in the shop. We're gonna go with they're all in the shop for this moment. Yeah, I think they're all in the shop. This is Treasure. This is a color shifter. Like, just even look at it on the paintbrush. It is like a liquid metal. Oh, there's something fun about paints like this. There's lots of best practices for color shifters. I have always found that letting them sit for about 5 to 10 minutes with water on them, no matter the brand, is always best. There are lots of brands that say they activate much faster. I've always found that 5 to 10 minutes of sitting with water on them gets me the best results. And I have super shifters from probably half a dozen to a dozen brands in my palette. Oh, that's so much fun. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get it on camera. But that is fabulous. And the next is Enchant, which is another super shifter. And Enchant has been on my list for, I want to say at this point, over a year. And I just never put it on like the list of things that I was actually like on my list of please send me for whatever reason. It is such a great color though. I think that all of Laura's, I've got many of Laura's super shifters and I do like all of them. So it is sort of similar to Peacock Feathers, except it's a brighter green and it goes more yellow before it goes to the blue, is how I would describe it. I don't know that I've got Peacock Feathers here. I might be able to pull up Peacock Feathers for a swatch test comparison. But Peacock Feathers is one of the very first shifters Laura ever did, and I believe is still in the shop. I believe the first set was Peacock Feathers, Be Still My Heart, and something else. But I don't know what the something else was. But I think it was a set of 3. Let's find Peacock Feathers. Ha! My swatch still has the old name on it when it was originally Atlas. So you can see it is much brighter, and this is much more green. And if I tilt them both sort of the same angle, you can see that one, Peacock Feathers, is much more blue, whereas Enchanted goes sort of a darker green into yellow into teal before it goes blue. So they are 2 very different colors, and I am happy that I have both. I was worried that they were going to be similar. They are not. They are not at all. And so I'm very happy that I added it to my palette. And I'm excited to do some stuff with it in the coming weeks. It also might be added to my travel palette because it does sort of fit with the color scheme. Actually, we're going to pull one of these. I'm going to do Snow next, even though Snow is not the next one in this order, because I want to do the set, and then I want to do this silver, or these silvers. So Snow is white, a white. I don't actually have a white from Laura in my palette yet, somehow. So I just asked her to choose one, because there are some times that I try and do Cosmic Creations only content for Instagram, and what gets me stuck is the fact that I don't have a white from her, and so I just asked her to pick a white to send to me, and so she sent me along Snow. White metallics are all pretty much the same. The only thing that's different is the shimmer effect. Some will be more pearly, some will be more flaky. This one is very pearly. But for the most part, shimmer metallics, especially white ones, are all going to look pretty much the same. I do have a couple that are more flaky, but this one is very much a pearl, which is my preferred effects because you can wash it out quite a lot to make snow, which is probably why this is called snow. All right, and now we have the algae collection, which is not actually the algae collection, but a lot of them are different algae and moss and sea creatures and things. I had far too much fun naming this collection. Yeah, I had far too much fun naming this collection, but it was a great time. So we've got Irish moss, which on white paper is very yellow and on black paper is not very yellow. And I absolutely adore it. Because I have seen a whole bunch of other people swatch these colors, even though I haven't had them in my possession. Amber's had them, and I think Madeline's had them. Just like, oh, it's so much fun. I love that it's a hot pink on black, whereas on white it's like this light yellow. Then we have Sea Fan. So the goal with this collection was that they were all going to be different sea creatures or different sea life. And so yeah, I looked at a lot of pictures of things until I found things that matched what colors we had in the collection. And it was a lot of fun. I do really like how all of these perform on black. I think I probably like them, I probably like them more on black, but I also really like them on white. This might be, I do really like the Oceanside Sunset palette, but honestly, like, it's hard to beat something like that for me. This might be my favorite collection of the new sets, even though you have to buy all these colors separately. This might be my favorite collection. Kelp is very yellow, but I'm going to assume that on black it's green because I looked at whatever swatch had the best color for the names. So even though this is yellow, I'm going to assume that when you put it on black, it goes green. Though it is really fun on white. Like, it's got a fun flake to it. Oh yeah, we're green on black. Okay, I didn't lose my mind when we named these. Because I was going, why did I name? Oh, it's a color shifting green as well. Because, you know. Which honestly is probably best for this color because it's just now a really fun name. You can have a bright green all the way into like the purples and the blues. That's a really fun name for that color. Then we have red algae. I think, yeah, no, this is my favorite collection of this whole batch. And there were there 3 different collections she sent, or 4? I love this collection. So all of these have a little bit of a color shift to them. It's not as dramatic as a normal color shifter, but they all have some sort of little shift to them from the looks of it. And that's super fun. I do really enjoy colors with that effect. I think it adds a lot of dimension to a piece, because also these colors don't have a whole lot of pigment on white, which means you could glaze them over a piece. Glowing coral. Oh yeah, this does like look like those like glow in the dark sort of plants, or those plants that like reflect. Light. Looks spooky, sort of like a jellyfish. And then you've got, it's very gold on, is it very gold, or is it just gold from the angle I'm at? Nope, it's very gold on black, which is not my favorite effect for a metallic, but I think it works in this case enough. Glowing coral. 5 colors left. We have Sea Anemone. All right. Purple coral followed by grape coral. Apparently, there were many purples in this collection, because we've also already had sea fan, which is a purple. But so far, they've all been very pretty. So let's look at purple coral. Oh yeah, this is very pretty. I think this is probably going to be like a blue color shift on black. I'm right. It's a blue to a violet. That's actually stunning. So let's, oh, so pretty. I do love this coral collection, or sea life. I don't know how you actually search for it on the website. I think you have to search for each color individually, unless Laura's used a keyword in all of them. They all might be searchable under coral. And then grape coral is the final one in this set of, is it a set of 8? It is a set of 8. It's a very fun set of 8. I do enjoy the neon collection that she's just come out with. I do enjoy the Oceanside Sunset, but I think this is the one that I'm going to pack to take with me this summer, because it's got sort of all the effects that I want in shimmers when I travel. Like, it's got the color shift, it's got sort of the pastel-y regular colors. And for the most part, they all keep their color on black paper. There are only a couple that go gold on black, which is a really common thing with shimmers. They do look completely different on black paper. There are a couple of them that are total shifters on black paper. Here's purple coral, which, this is it on white. Like, they're just such different colors. Hello. So it's a super fun collection, and I'm really excited to finally have it. And then finally, our last two, Laura has sent along because my favorite silver, which is sterling, was actually discontinued like 2 years ago. And for 2 years, I've finished one pan of it, and she had sent along a second pan when it was being discontinued, and I'm about halfway through that second pan. And so Laura has sent along the 2 silvers that are closest to sterling, so that I can find a silver that I like again. So I've got my swatch of sterling. Sterling has now been my go-to silver for a very long time. I love the effect on white, and I love how much it pops on black. Hopefully either Silver Star or 925 looks as good on black and white, because I am wanting a silver where I only have to carry one pan. I don't want, you know, one that looks good on each paper. I just want something to replace the color I already have. I bet you there were instructions for Silver Star, because Silver Star is a chrome. I don't know that Silver Star is going to be it. I think Silver Star is too cool. I also don't think I let it sit long enough with water. Why are you behaving so badly? I'm gonna give that a second. I don't know why I can't get this to swatch flat. Could be the paper. Odd. Because it'll swatch flat on black. It's not swatching flat on the white. So I have to think it's the paper that I'm using, and it's just being weird. So then we have 925. And 925 might be the winner. Yeah, I think 925 is going to be the winner. As long as 925 works on black, 925 will be the winner. I can already tell, just because it's almost warmer for silver. Silver Star, as pretty as it is too cool, which is, I know, weird to say about a silver. When I bring them closer to the camera, you'll probably be able to tell that one is just sort of too blue. And especially in something like this where I want it to just sort of exist as a paint. Still trying to figure out what's going on here. I think it has to be the paper. Like, it's just being so weird. And it's swatching fine on the black. Which makes me think it's just something up with the paper. Right. So, sterling, 925, Silver Star. Sterling is still lighter than 925. But when they're all in a lineup together, you can definitely see how much darker Silver Star is, which is not a bad thing. It's just not what I'm looking for as a replacement for sterling. It is a very pretty silver. I will use it. It's just not what I want in this case. In this case, 925 is definitely probably closer to what I want, even on black. On black, it's definitely closer to 925. So, I now have a new silver, one that Laura actually still stocks, which is always a good thing, because I'd actually stopped using my silver. It is much more dramatic on black paper. It is also very, very shiny. All of them are. And that's why I tend to use them. I tend to use them because they're very shiny, but they are very dramatic on black paper. And here, let's pull down snow. So snow's a white, and you can just sort of see the difference between like a white, a silver, and a silver. Where you can actually see like there's a color difference between the white, which is really just white flake, or white pearl in this case, and the silver, which does have a noticeable color. And so I this is actually the first white I have from Laura, and I asked for it because there were a couple pieces last year at Christmas where I did need a white, where I was specifically doing content for her and I didn't have a white. So I now have a white from her, but 9 out of 10 times if I'm needing a white, I'm reaching for a silver. So I'm very happy that I now have silver. She stocks. I have many, many swatches that need to go away. I have many palettes that need to be reorganized, but for now, I'm gonna let all these swatches dry. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something about colors and pigments and sparkly things. This was mostly a sparkly things live, honestly. But we did talk a lot about sparkly things. We compared new and old swatches, and I hope you had a good time. So thanks for watching.